Our food supply is under attack. Powerful forces are working to control what we eat. This is a direct threat to our health and our freedom. We are in a battle for food freedom. It's about our right to choose safe, healthy, and nutritious food. For decades, we've been told that processed foods are convenient and affordable. But at what cost? These foods are loaded with sugar, unhealthy fats, and artificial ingredients. They are making us sick. We must reclaim our food supply and our right to choose what we eat. One of the biggest threats to our food freedom is the so-called Great Food Reset. This is a plan being pushed by global elites and powerful organizations. They want to transform the global food system. Their stated goal is to make it more sustainable and equitable. However, many are concerned about the true agenda behind this reset. They fear it will lead to more control over our food supply. Our food freedom and our health may depend on it. One of the most effective tactics used to push the Great Food Reset agenda is misinformation. A well-funded and coordinated propaganda machine is working overtime. Their goal? To convince the public that these radical changes are necessary. They use fear-mongering and emotional appeals. They claim that our current food system is unsustainable, but these claims are often misleading or outright false. We must be vigilant in identifying and rejecting this propaganda. The USDA and FDA are two of the most powerful agencies in the US government. They have enormous influence over our food supply, but many believe that these agencies have been captured by the very industries they are supposed to regulate. Instead of protecting the public interest, they end up serving the interests of powerful corporations. We must demand transparency and accountability from these agencies. The consolidation of the food industry is a major threat to our food freedom. A handful of giant corporations now control a significant portion of the global food supply. This gives them enormous power over what we eat and how much we pay for it. Small farms are essential for a resilient and diverse food supply. They often grow a wider variety of crops and provide fresh local food to their communities. We must support our local farmers and ranchers. The genetic modification of our food supply represents a new frontier in the battle for food freedom. While proponents tout GMOs as a solution to world hunger, critics raise serious concerns about their potential impact on human health and the environment. Decades of research have failed to provide conclusive evidence regarding their safety. The potential for unintended consequences, such as new allergens or ecosystem disruption, is a gamble many are unwilling to take. The fight against GMOs is about preserving the integrity of our food system. It's about protecting the rights of consumers to make informed choices. The battle for food freedom extends beyond the obvious targets of GMOs and industrial farming practices. A more insidious threat lurks in the shadows, the hidden dangers within our food supply, often disguised as harmless additives. One example is the widespread use of artificial sweeteners. Marketed as a healthier alternative to sugar, these chemical concoctions may disrupt our gut microbiome and contribute to health problems. Another hidden danger lies in processed vegetable oils linked to inflammation and chronic illnesses. The fight for food freedom requires us to become more discerning about the ingredients in our food. The fight for food freedom requires us to look beyond the carefully crafted labels and marketing campaigns of the processed food industry. The convenience of processed foods often comes at a hidden cost, impacting our health and environment. Food manufacturers create hyper-palatable products that hijack our taste buds. This addiction to processed foods contributes to the obesity epidemic and chronic diseases. Breaking free from this cycle requires a conscious effort to reclaim our food choices. It means supporting local farmers and rediscovering the joy of cooking and eating real whole foods. The One Health initiative, while seemingly benign, raises concerns about its potential to erode individual liberties. This initiative promotes a holistic approach to health. recognizing the interconnectedness of human, animal, and environmental health. Critics warn that it could pave the way for government power and corporate influence over our lives. The fear is that One Health could justify intrusive surveillance and restrictions on our freedom to choose the food we eat. We must be vigilant in safeguarding our autonomy. The lines between food and medicine are becoming increasingly blurred. This trend threatens to transform our relationship with food, turning it into a medicalized commodity. The medicalization of food manifests in various ways, from fortified processed foods to genetically modified crops delivering vaccines. Critics warn of unintended consequences and the potential for abuse. Our food choices should be shaped by our own needs and preferences, not by the profit motives of big food and big pharma. The dystopian future of food control. The erosion of food freedom could lead us to a future where our food choices are no longer our own. Imagine a world where food is tightly controlled by governments and corporations, and access to real, natural food is restricted. Our diets dictated by algorithms and regulations, all in the name of health and sustainability. Small farms replaced by massive industrial food complexes producing standardized, highly processed food products. These products, stripped of natural flavors and nutrients, are fortified with synthetic vitamins and minerals, creating the illusion of a balanced diet while perpetuating dependence on the industrial food system. Real food becomes a luxury reserved for the elite, while the masses consume a bland, standardized diet. This dystopian vision is not beyond possibility if we fail to resist the forces controlling our food supply. The battle for food freedom is about preserving our autonomy and connection to nature. The power of food choice. The fight for food freedom begins with our daily choices. Reclaim our plates one meal at a time, reject processed, artificial foods, embrace real, whole foods, fill our plates with vibrant fruits and vegetables, savor pasture-raised meats and eggs, rediscover cooking from scratch, choose fruit over sugary snacks, home-cooked meals over fast food. Section 2, building a parallel food system, from farm to community. Reclaiming our food freedom requires more than just individual action. It demands a collective effort to build a parallel food system, one that operates outside the confines of the industrial model and prioritizes the health of people, animals, and the planet. This parallel system, rooted in community and collaboration, offers a beacon of hope in a world increasingly dominated by corporate control and centralized power. At the heart of this movement is the revitalization of local food economies. By supporting local farmers, ranchers, and food producers, we not only gain access to fresher, more nutritious food, but also foster a sense of connection and interdependence within our communities. We become active participants in our food system rather than passive consumers. Community-supported agriculture, farmers' markets, and direct farm-to-consumer sales are all examples of initiatives that are building this parallel food system. These models empower consumers to connect directly with the people who grow their food, to learn about their farming practices, and to support a more sustainable and equitable food economy. This movement is about more than just food. It's about rebuilding community, fostering resilience, and creating a future where access to healthy, nourishing food is a right, not a privilege. Section 3, financial freedom, protecting your resources in a time of uncertainty. The battle for food freedom is inextricably linked to the broader fight for financial freedom. The ability to control our resources, make choices that align with our values, and build a secure future for ourselves and our families. In a world of economic instability, currency manipulation, and increasing government overreach, protecting our financial well-being is more important than ever. One crucial step is to reduce our dependence on the conventional financial system, which is increasingly vulnerable to shocks and manipulations. This means exploring alternative currencies and payment systems such as cryptocurrencies, precious metals, and barter networks. These decentralized systems offer a degree of autonomy and resilience that is often lacking in the traditional financial world. Another important step is to build financial resilience within our communities. This can involve creating local exchange trading systems where members trade goods and services directly, bypassing the need for traditional currency. It can also involve supporting local businesses and cooperatives, keeping our resources circulating within our communities and strengthening our local economies. By diversifying our financial resources, supporting local businesses, and exploring alternative currencies, we can create a more resilient and equitable financial system, one that is less susceptible to the whims of governments and corporations. Section 4, Seeds of Resilience, Cultivating Independence in Your Own Backyard. In an era of increasing uncertainty and potential disruptions to our food supply, cultivating self-sufficiency and resilience has never been more important. One of the most empowering steps we can take is to reclaim our connection to the land and begin growing some of our own food. Even if you don't have a large yard or acreage, there are countless ways to incorporate food production into your life. Container gardening, vertical gardening, and even indoor hydroponic systems allow you to grow fresh, healthy food in even the smallest of spaces. Start by planting a small herb garden on your windowsill or balcony. Experiment with growing easy-to-manage vegetables like tomatoes, lettuce, and peppers in containers. Join a community garden to connect with other like-minded individuals and learn valuable gardening skills. Saving seeds from your own garden is another important step towards self-sufficiency. This ancient practice allows you to preserve heirloom varieties, adapt plants to your local climate, and reduce your reliance on commercial seed companies. By cultivating our own gardens, we not only enhance our food security, but also reconnect with the rhythms of nature, develop valuable skills, and foster a sense of independence and empowerment. Section 1. The Power of Community. United we stand. The fight for food freedom is not a battle we can win alone. It requires the collective strength of communities coming together, united by a shared commitment to reclaiming control over our food supply and our health. When we connect with like-minded individuals, share resources, and support each other's efforts, we become a force to be reckoned with. One of the most powerful ways to build community is through the creation of local food networks. These networks can take many forms, from informal buying clubs and potlucks to more organized initiatives like community gardens, food cooperatives, and seed libraries. These networks not only provide access to healthy, affordable food, but also foster a sense of belonging, shared purpose, and mutual support. They create spaces for learning, sharing knowledge, and building relationships that extend beyond the transactional nature of our modern food system. In times of crisis, these local food networks can become lifelines, providing essential resources and support when conventional supply chains are disrupted. They represent a powerful form of community resilience built on the principles of cooperation, self-reliance, and a deep respect for the interconnectedness of all living things. Section 2, Local Action, National Impact, Reclaiming Our Food Sovereignty. The fight for food freedom is not confined to our individual choices or even our local communities. It extends to the halls of government, where policies are made that impact our entire food system. By engaging in the political process, we can advocate for changes that promote food sovereignty, the right of people to define their own food and agriculture systems, free from corporate control and government overreach. One crucial step is to support legislation that empowers small farmers and local food systems. This includes advocating for policies that level the playing field, providing fair access to markets, credit, and resources for small-scale producers. It also means pushing back against regulations that disproportionately burden small farms while benefiting industrial agriculture giants. We can also advocate for labeling laws that provide transparency and empower consumers to make informed choices about the food they buy. This includes mandatory labeling of genetically modified organisms, country of origin labeling, and clear labeling of artificial ingredients and processing methods. By engaging in the political process, supporting food freedom candidates, and holding our elected officials accountable, we can create a policy environment that supports a more just, sustainable, and community-centered food system. Section 3, Guardians of freedom, constitutional sheriffs in the defense of our rights. Constitutional sheriffs uphold the Constitution and protect our rights, especially in food freedom. They stand against government overreach, defending liberties in our founding documents. They defend food freedom, raw milk sales, and farmers' rights. The Constitution guarantees life, liberty, and property, including food choices. Sheriffs intervene when government oversteps, protecting small farms. They refuse unconstitutional laws and protect citizens' food rights. The time for action is now. The battle for food freedom is raging all around us. Will we rise to the challenge, reclaiming our food sovereignty? Powerful corporations seek to dominate our food supply, but we are not powerless. It demands that we educate ourselves and take action. The future of our food depends on the choices we make today. A future worth fighting for. Imagine a future where food is a source of nourishment, connection, and joy. Small farms flourish, providing fresh, healthy food to their communities. Consumers empowered to make informed choices. Our food system reflects sustainability, justice, and interconnectedness. This is the future we are fighting for. Food sovereignty reigns supreme, prioritizing health and well-being over profit. We must claim this future, one seed, one meal, one community at a time. It requires courage, creativity, and commitment to freedom, justice, and sustainability. The stakes are too high to ignore. The health of our families and the future of our planet depend on our choices today. Let us fight for food, freedom, and a future with safe, healthy, and nourishing food. Let us build a world where food is a source of liberation and a testament to our collective power.